possible and positive role model to his teenage son, as well as young boys in the community. David's sister, Tasia Carter Jackson, had nothing but great things to say about her brother. Hi everyone, so welcome back to my channel. I just want to thank you all so much for watching my videos. I really, truly appreciate your support. I do want to let you all know, so I took a look at my analytics and just before getting ready to record, and I noticed that I am getting a ton of views, and I really, really appreciate all of your views. Everybody who is taking the opportunity to view this channel, I truly appreciate it. But you guys are not subscribing. So if you are, if this is your first time watching and you enjoy this type of content, please consider hitting the subscribe button down below. I really want to get my subscribers numbers up. I really want you all to share these videos. I want you all to like these videos because I just really think that this is for an important cause. Okay, guys, so let's chat. Today, I'm skipping the intro. Let me know what you think about it. We're just going to jump right into the story. So today's story is about the horrific, brutal, and basically disgusting murder of David Carter Sr. from Melvindale, Michigan, which is near the Detroit area. David lived in the Gale Garden Apartments in Melvindale, Michigan, which is just 10 miles south of Detroit, and worked for an auto supplier in Highland Park, which is about 15 miles from his apartment. As you can see from the pictures to my right and my left, David was a very, very attractive and handsome young man. He was a hardworking, quiet, family-focused person. His main goal was being the best father possible and positive role model to his teenage son, as well as young boys in the community. David's sister, Tasia Carter Jackson, had nothing but great things to say about her brother. In one article, she was quoted as saying, "He didn't bother anybody. He was one of the good guys. He was nice, kind, sweet, and as you can tell from the pictures, he would probably be what we would classify as a pretty boy or someone who was very much into their appearance and, you know, taking care of themselves, and he was well-groomed. He was a clean-cut man. He was also an entrepreneur and owned his own clothing company called Lavish Habits Clothing. Prior to David's death, he was dating a woman by the name of Tamera Renee Williams. She also goes by the name of Tammy. Tamera was 39 years old at the time of David's death. And I also found out that she goes by the name of Tamera Renee Pierce as well. Now, I'm going to get right to the point and let you know that police believe that Tamera is responsible for the brutal and horrific death of David. They believe that 39-year-old David Carter went missing sometime just before the week of September 30th, 2018, possibly on Saturday, I believe September 29th, 2018. His sister, Tasia, immediately contacted authorities when his coworkers reached out to her to let her know that he had not shown up for work on Sunday, September 30th. Tasia and David's coworkers were adamant that this was not like David at all, missing work, let alone missing work on a Sunday, when he would have been paid triple time. That just was not in his character at all. You know, he was an upstanding person, and money and, you know, taking care of himself was very important to him. Tasia had a very close relationship with David, and his coworkers knew that. So when David did not show up for work, they immediately reached out to her to see what was going on. Tasia said David was very meticulous or routine and consistent about his daily activities, and she was immediately alarmed at the fact that he had not shown up for work, because that's just not like him. That wasn't within his character. She was adamant that David kept a clean apartment, he never missed work, and he was very conscious about security and safety. After David's coworkers reached out to Tasia, she went to his house on the night of Monday, October 1st, 2018, to see if he was home, and immediately became more concerned by what she found. Tasia found David's car there, his apartment was unlocked, and that just would not happen, according to Tasia. She said that David never, ever, ever left his house unlocked. She contacted authorities and they immediately began their investigation. Police searched David's apartment for 3 days, so from Monday, Tuesday, and even Wednesday, and I'm sure they looked for anything and everything that they could possibly find that seemed unusual or out of place. Now, police ultimately wrapped up their search on Wednesday, October 3rd, 2018, around 4 p.m. that afternoon. And based on whatever clues they found at David's apartment, they announced that David's disappearance was suspicious and that they suspected foul play. Now, just 1 day after David was reported missing, a Department of Transportation worker in Ohio was mowing some lawn along a stretch of highway I-75, which is between Bluffton and Findlay. And sadly, he found a sleeping bag which contained remains of a human body. Ultimately, it was determined that those remains belonged to David Sr. Now, this area is about 2 hours from Melvindale, where David lived. And according to police, David's body was brutally mutilated. Police believe Tamera or Tammy Williams viciously dismembered David's body and scattered his remains throughout Ohio and Michigan. Guys, as I researched the story and was digging into it, as you see by the picture of Tammy, I'm pretty sure you thought like I do, how in the heck could she have done this? Like, what was she thinking? What caused her to snap or flip out and do something so horrendous, so vicious? Now, according to David's sister, his mom and dad, they took Tammy in to their family and their home and treated her like she was a part of their family. She was actually inseparable from David, according to Tasia. She seemed to be so in love with him, so, enamored by him, basically, it seems. And Tasia even mentioned that it almost seemed like she was obsessed with David or had some sort of unhealthy obsession with him. All of their photos together show them happy, hugging, smiling. They look like they had a pretty great social life. They seemed to be out and about. They did not seem like they were a troubled couple or having any sort of issues. As police continued their investigation, additional remains of David were later discovered near his apartment in Michigan, as well as other locations between Ohio and Michigan. And police ultimately obtained an arrest warrant for Tamera Williams, charging her with first-degree murder or homicide, disentering or basically digging up a dead body, mutilation, and tampering with evidence. I really wish I could find out what police found in that apartment to believe or to lead them to believe that Tamera had something to do with this. Obviously, they had to have found disturbing evidence. Reports say that they were collecting several pieces of evidence throughout those 3 days that they were at his apartment. I really would like to be in the mind of her to understand why she would do something like this, because it just doesn't make any sense to me at all based on what we know about David and what we know about her. Police believe Williams fled Michigan in mid-October of 2018 and has been on the run ever since. She is known to be world traveler. She's no stranger to traveling across the country. She worked as a travel agent. And like I said, she also worked in the medical field at the time of David's death and is a member of the Order of Eastern Star. So the Order of Eastern Star claims that they are the world's largest fraternal organization for both men and women. One website states, although not a part of the Masonic fraternity, membership is based on Masonic affiliation or relationship, belief in a supreme being, and a desire to acquire additional knowledge and self-improvement. Growing up, I heard of many African Americans being a part of this organization, but I never understood it, and I still don't understand its practices or beliefs. I have not dug into it deep enough to understand it. David's family and the police believe that Tamera is using her travel agent experience as well as her connections with the Order of Eastern Star organization to run or evade police. And she's possibly doing this without the organization's knowledge. Hopefully we can share this video and maybe someone within the organization who knows her will see it and encourage her, implore her to turn herself in and go back to, reach out to authorities, or they may just do it themselves. I'm hopeful because David's family deserves answers. They deserve some sort of closure, whatever that may be for them in this particular case. Tamera frequently traveled to other countries, so it's possible that she's even left the United States. She is 5 feet 5 inches tall. She's approximately 190 pounds, and she has a large tattoo of roses on her left shoulder, or her left arm. It kind of like spans like this area. I'm going to put a picture of her here so you can see it. She has brown eyes and brown hair, but as you can see from the pictures that I've posted so far, she changes her hairstyles frequently, which can also change her look and her appearance. Now, I found one article that indicated an arrest was made in this case back in, I think, 2018, but it seemed that the person was released and no other articles mention an arrest. So as I continued to dig a little more, I found a Facebook post where people were saying that Tamera was the person who was initially arrested and questioned, but later released. This is probably when she decided to flee, once she realized that the police were onto her or, were questioning her. The Facebook post also had commenters saying that she worked at a hospital as a surgical tech, and police say that she was working as a phlebotomist at the time of David's death. When I saw that post, guys, I immediately thought that this is how Tamera would have enough knowledge of the human body to even know how to dismember a body or commit such a horrific act, because she's not really necessarily has any sort of aversion to, maybe blood or something like that, because this is what she did in her everyday life. In 2018, police were very, very tight-lipped about David's case, and since then, they have slowly released additional little nuggets of information. A more recent article even said that Tamera dug up a body and tampered with evidence following David's death. I'm not sure if that is accurate. I'm not sure if they are saying, just like kind of throwing everything at her as far as her charges. But I do know that the U.S. Marshals have Tammy listed on their most wanted list, and authorities are still looking for this person today. Crime Stoppers has renewed their search for her. And I'm going to insert a picture of her most wanted poster. Guys, I mean, this story is obviously so very sad and disgusting. It's disheartening. What do you all think about this case so far? Let me know in the comments below. I have some thoughts that I will share later. David's entire family has been, like I said, forever changed by his death. His son lost an important role model in his life at a very critical time. Imagine a young teenage boy losing their father when he spent so much time with him. David was a constant in his son's life.
Told me that he was gone, and it got to me.
16-year-old David Carter Jr. says he and his father were like best friends. They used to go to the movies and go bowling together, something he'll never be able to do with his father again.
My father has always been there for me, like always, no matter what is going on. But for this to happen to him and not be with us today, or for the rest of our lives, it's gonna hurt us.
David's son said that his dad was somebody that he could actually look up to. He taught him right from wrong, as fathers should do. I'm sure David's father, Elton Carter, and mother are absolutely devastated by not only David's death, but by the horrific way in which he died. His life was taken so viciously and disgustingly by someone that they accepted into their family. Elton and David seem to have the most beautiful relationship as a father and a son. And I'm sure that that void is there in Elton's heart, and it's probably deep. You know, it's crazy that Tamera had such a close contact with the entire family and decided to do something like this. Let me know in the comments below, like, what the mind, I'm just like desperate to know the mindset of the person that would decide to do something like this. She was connected to this family. It wasn't like she was out on the outskirts or, you know, somebody who had not been introduced to his family. She was a big part of their family. Elton, David's father, seems like such an honorable man, and it really just breaks my heart to even hear him talk about his son. And
for someone to be able to meet a family and come and spend time with you, and celebrations.
For the first time since the murder of 39-year-old David Carter, police are revealing that this is the woman they're confident is responsible. 39-year-old Tamera Williams.
She was very, very obsessive over my brother.
Tammy was David's girlfriend of 6 months with no criminal history. David's family says Tammy was always by David's side. That is, until he disappeared at the beginning of October.
And I said, Tammy, where's my brother? And she was like, I don't know. You know, Tasia, I told you I don't know where he is. I know that she did something to my brother.
And police say David's sister was right.
What Tammy did to her boyfriend at the time, David, is just horrible. It's brutal. This is not, you know, a normal person doing these. She did it to somebody she loved. Who knows what she's going to do in the future.
And police say as soon as she got wind police were onto her, Tammy took off.
Yeah, just told us, you know, they found him on the side of on the freeway or whatever in another state.
The Carter family's worst fears were realized shortly after he went missing. When they got the call, David had been found dead along I-75 in Ohio.
It was him.
Elton even pleaded with Tamera on camera in one of the news clips, saying to her, and I quote, "Baby, please turn yourself in. You can't run from this forever." I don't know why, but when he said that, I immediately was kind of like overcome with so much sadness, because he, even in the state of losing his son in such a heinous way by who police believe was someone that they accepted into their home, he still had enough kindness and the kind spirit to, give her such an endearing term and to tell her to just please turn herself in. It just it spoke to their family dynamic, I think, as a whole. His mother and him seemed to be both very kind, upstanding, positive people, and it's heartbreaking to hear that they would have to endure something like this. One article stated that David would check on Elton almost daily. He would visit him often. And of course, he misses that, his son checking on him. David volunteered with Melvindale Junior Football League. And like I said, he was an entrepreneur, all doing this while working full time. He was kind of like the all around upstanding guy. His family remembers him as a comedian. He always kept his family laughing, and they just say that they don't have that enjoyment anymore. That enjoyment, that laughter, and that love is missing from their family because of what Tamera has done. Alton thinks that Tamera could be anywhere at this point, which is true. Once she realized police considered her a person of interest, she fled on a train from Ann Arbor, Michigan to Brooklyn, New York. She has several connections through her affiliation with the the Order of Eastern Stars. And like I said, I believe that she may be using that network to hide without their knowledge. There was even some articles that said they believe she has some connections in the Atlanta area. Authorities say she and David dated for only 6 months. And although she has no prior criminal history, they characterize her as manipulative and evil. So she could be using those same manipulation tactics with her organization, with her affiliations and her so-called friends and family. What do you think about that? I've researched several articles and I just don't understand the why here. What could have drove Tamera to do this, and why did she do it in this manner? It's kind of difficult to even process or comprehend, because someone with no criminal history, she's only known him for a very short time. Why would she go to such extremes? I mean, if David was abusive or violent, then I could possibly understand self-defense, but this was not self-defense at all. This was mutilating a body. She, in my opinion, when you look at the pictures, he seems like a mild-mannered, even-tempered person. What Tamera did was absolutely violent and horrendous. One report even says that she beheaded him. You really just don't hear of a woman doing something like this at this magnitude or with this much hate and viciousness unless they have like mental issues. Obviously she has some sort of mental issues if she did something like this, because who in their right mind could even think to go this far? She didn't even have that much of a connection to him. 6 months is not a long time to be dating, especially when you're almost in your 40s. You're a grown behind woman. You should know how to separate. You guys don't even have a real relationship at that point. So I can understand when his family says that she almost seemed obsessed. It kind of aligns with this type of behavior that, like her doing something so extreme. What do you guys think about this? I wonder what her family would have to say about her. I want to know how Tamera managed to even overtake David. Maybe there was like some element of surprise, because otherwise I just don't see it. Obviously, she's a woman, he's a man, men are stronger. There had to be an element of surprise there for her to do this, or she could have possibly had some help. Who knows? I don't know. Who knows? Regardless, police and the U.S. Marshals are looking for Tamera. Remember, she is now 40 years old. Her birthday is March 18th, 1975. So she's coming up on her 41st birthday in just a few short days. Like I said, she's 5 feet 5 inches tall, 190 pounds, with a large rose tattoo on her left arm. She goes by the Tammy. Her name is Tamera Williams, but she also has an alias of Tamera Renee Pierce. even that, I'm like, what does that mean? Was she married before? Who is this woman? It's like she came out of thin air and disrupted 5 or 6 people's lives, and she's gone into thin air. She is African American with light complexion. She has brown eyes and brown hair, but it's, like I said, important to remember she could change her hair color and her hairstyle frequently and, be under the radar. The case is like, it's very sad. When you see the pictures of David, when you see David's family, everyone says that he was a caring person, a family man, a devoted father, someone who gave back to the community and worked hard every single day. He was doing everything right, and unfortunately just came in contact with someone that he thought had good intentions, and she turned out to be crazy. I hope her family and friends and her Eastern Star organization is not hiding her. I hope that if they see this, if someone knows someone and they share this video, I hope they have enough courage to reach out to authorities. I feel like someone knows where this lady is. She has to have family. She has to have a mom, a dad, cousins, aunts, uncles. Even if she managed to leave the country, I believe people can help get the word out by sharing this story, or even sharing the articles, whatever it is, share it, because it's not an old case. There's still time to, there's always time to bring justice and closure to a heartbroken family in a situation like this. If you have seen Tamera at any point, please reach out to authorities. You can contact the U.S. Marshals 24-hour tip line at 313-234-5600, or you can even email them at usms.wanted@usdoj.gov. I will put all of that information down below in the description box. You can also contact the Melvindale Police Department with any information that you may have at 313-429-1070. I just felt like even if you knew about Tamera's life before this incident or after, I think it's important to tell law enforcement. I get the impression that they probably don't know a whole lot about her outside of what they believe she's done. I could be wrong, but any little piece of evidence or information would probably be helpful. I believe that she just has to be found and brought to justice, because this was just so horrendous, so heinous, so disgusting, so gross, so disgusting for her to do something like this. And who knows who her next victim could be. If she can so easily do something like this, who's to say that she's going to stop at David? She may find another man that she's interested in and decides to do something like this because, for whatever reason, David's family, his sister, his brother, his son, his mom, his dad, they are a loving family that desperately needs closure. And I think that the only closure would be at this point is to bring her to justice. And I would probably feel like they want to know why, when they welcomed her into their home and into their family, why would she do something like this? So let me know in the comments below, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, you can easily go to, you can find the Facebook post. It's really a post about the search for Tamera. And in the post, you see commenters that obviously have close connection to David and know of Tamera, and they desperately want closure. They know about where she worked. Some person said that she worked at Mount Sinai, I think, hospital at the time when they were dating. So, this is a still very fresh case, and You know, he had a lot of contacts. Think about all of the young boys that he mentored or coached on the youth football league that no longer has his guidance and his support and his care. That's really all I have on this for you today, guys. Please don't forget to like this video. And even if you don't like this video, please share this video. That would be that's probably the more important thing about what I'm doing here, is that I would encourage you to share this video, because that's the only way that we're going to get Tamera's face out there in front of other people. I don't see very many videos on this story, with the exception of a couple of, with the exception of a couple of news articles. So it's important that we get this story out and put her face out there in front of people. She could be roaming around in your community and you not even know it. It's very important that we share this video. More important that we share this video than you liking this video, in my opinion. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you guys like this type of content. I would love to have you. I am going to keep going. And I thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, take care and be safe, guys. Bye.